Greetings, friends, and welcome to another episode of The Mistake Zone, your weekly dose of our lives and the mistakes within them. My name is Jaren Wade. Joining me, as always, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Matt Alba. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
Matt, you know what they say. When Recuse is away, the Gacha Gang does.
Oh, man. Jaren, we gambling? We gambling? The Gacha Gang gambles?
You know, it's a YSG 10 pull.
Oh, man.
Matt, if this works out, this is a guarantee. Matt! Matt!
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Jaren, what pity were you at? What pity were you at when you did this fall?
This would have been, I hit Nekomata, like, last 10 pull. So, Matt, let's just say, I'm glad that when Remy comes to Zenless Zone 0, the top-up bonuses reset. So,
Oh, no, Jaren. Sure, no.
Matt, got a plus one. Got an M1. Got an M1. Matt,
Nice.
since I opened the floodgates with this delicious Father's Day 10 pull, and I got my plus 2 now YSG. Matt, Zenless Zone 0, 3.0. New chapter, new area, now on Steam. Steam, we can now click on the community hub and PvP with, their current in-game players. Not that it matters to me, but throughout the week, that's been hovering around 12,000, 13,000. I think that's okay. But Matt,
Yeah.
you know what's more than okay? Hopefully,
What's that, Jaren?
your experience with Zenless Zone 0, 3.0. How's A Sleepwalker's Confession going for you and our new girl, Velena?
Jaren, I haven't really gotten that far into the story content, but Jaren, at least for me, Velena came home in my 50-50. And
you'd love to see it.
Love to see it. It was at 80 pulls, but it's better than 180 pulls.
That's true. Matt, I'm the resident dum-dum here on the Mistake Zone, and you're the resident good at games.
Okay.
How do I play Velena in Zenless Zone 0?
Jaren, you press the special attack button when you have energy, and then you switch to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
And then when the blue bar below her energy is full, you hold the special attack button instead of just pressing it.
Matt,
that's basically it.
Is she another support character alongside my support character to further support my anomaly agent?
Yeah, I think so. Jaren, I was running a Yuzaha Bernice Velena team, and while she might be a support, she was putting out most of the damage of that team.
So this is our first win element here in Zenless Zone 0, and I think it's a pretty, from what I've done so far, Matt, this is pretty strong. This is pretty strong, where I'm really curious to see how the next win agents come along, where I don't think we're going to be seeing one for at least the next 3 characters, just because Norma, I believe, is fire. Then we'll have Remy, who will be an ether, I believe. And then, what's her name? Siegfried? Or
Sigrid is going to be an ice attack. Yeah.
Which, Matt, I already have 2 ice agents that I'm using, so might be a skip, unfortunately. But how much of the story have you done from 3.0? I know you said you're not that far, but have you at least unlocked the new outfits yet?
I basically got to the point where I unlocked the new outfits and the shops that are in Roscalifer.
Yes. And with the new area Roscalifer, so far, what's your basic vibe of just the overall aesthetic, the new overworld, and some of the few characters we've met so far?
I mean, I like the general aesthetic. I think the thing I really like the most, and this is just me being optimized gamer, is that the video store, the your daily gamble thing, and then the coffee shop are all right next to each other.
Yep.
And I'm wondering how they're gonna make it even more efficient in whatever the 4.0 city is.
Yeah. Where I don't know, maybe that's just one stall at this point. But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so with the new update on Steam right now, not that there seems to be any reason to really port over if you already have the Helio client installed. Because, man, I was kind of surprised there was no Steam achievements just because at least when Zenless Zone Zero launched on, the Xbox, and I believe, of course, it would be when on the PlayStation. They have achievement support, trophy support. So I was thinking that they would also link the Steam achievements as well. So that's not here. And I guess you're only really doing this for that playtime counter and seeing if it shows up on your Steam profile by the end of the year. But yeah, so far, really do like the new area. Story-wise, Matt, what's up?
I had totally forgotten about the end of the year profile updates, and I'm really interested in seeing what's going to show up or how it's going to show up there now on our Steam wrap-ups.
That's the only reason I ported over, to be completely honest. Only reason. But yeah, so far, really like Matt. How do you feel about at least the wrapper being a school aesthetic, a school storyline with our proxies returning as students?
Jordan, I kind of don't like that. I don't know. I feel like I even like what do you call it? Belle says it in her, I guess, like dialogue during the thing. It's like, oh, she did accept me coming back to school. She feels a bit old for it or something. And I don't know. I do also kind of feel that way.
Where I think in my head, I always saw Wise as, that 23, 24 range. They're technically, are they technically twins? I forget. I always associate Wise being the older one.
Yeah,
with Belle
same.
in that 20 to 22 range. And when they said their new identities would be students, I just got that hello fellow kid meme in my head the whole time, where it's, I guess, but I was hoping for like not even, I guess a TA wouldn't be able to fly, but I don't know, just trying to pass off as students was a bit weird for me.
Yeah.
What do you think of Cecilia and Billy so far in the story?
Jared, I am so happy that they decided to send Cecilia to Roscala for like Jared, I love Cecilia. I think she's like top 2 characters in Zenless Zone Zero for me.
She had that. As someone who, despite just rolling her right now, didn't buy into the YSG propaganda from her girlfriend experience events, that Cecilia Heart of Gold, where I still wish she had a place on my current team rotation somewhere. But that maybe with Jane buffs, there might be a chance for Cecilia to For Cecilia to work with Jane, would they have to just change her kit completely into like Anomaly, or do you think there can be something there?
They would probably have to completely change one of their kits, or they have to put a character that somehow can exist between them that works with electric attack and physical anomaly.
One day, Matt. One day,
I believe.
But yeah, 3.0 right now. I know one of the current events lets you play as Norma, or at least a trial version of Norma. Did you get to try her yet, or?
No, I think I was like, I'm probably close to that because I'm at the point where just before like you interact with Norma.
Oh, okay, fair. That's another fire character where I probably should. I'm really, really behind on any fire output in terms of my current teams. Bernice is just doing the heavy lifting there. I don't have my S11 kitted out, but gotta save, Matt. Gotta save. But that's Zenless Zone Zero 3.0 available now available on Steam. Probably if you're going to reroll, 2 good banners to really look out for. Not for a new player. Of the 2, Valena or YSG, what do you think's the priority for your reroll account?
Oh, I think it depends on who you're gonna try to build around, because like I think YSG is probably better on her own, but since Remiel is coming up right after, Valena and Remiel are supposed to be a real good team. So you have a solid team if you decide to go that way. But I don't know. I think YSG really needs that, or really wants the what do you call it? Ether Veil supports.
Right. That's true. Matt, as much as I reluctantly admit that I love this game, it's one of those games where we have accounts that are almost 2 years old now worth of investments. Still recommend to a degree, but with any free-to-play gacha game like this, it's, to me personally, it gets harder and harder the more time passes to kind of recommend. But at least the vibes are there. At least the vibes are there, Matt. But so that's our Zenless Zone Zero update. Anything you've been up to lately, my friend?
Jared, I'm so sleepy right now.
Oh no, my apologies, Matt.
Jaren, I went to my cousin's wedding last night, so I didn't get home until I would say 1:30ish today.
Yes.
And then of course, I can't go to sleep, Jaren. I got gotchas to catch up on. I don't want to miss my dailies. So I was doing that until around I want to say 2:30ish, and then Jaren, I made the very the very, very stupid mistake of staying up for until I think around 4 a.m. watching Miku Miku Beam animation.
As you should, Matt. As you should.
Oh man.
Where every time, just because, Matt, you know how I am. I have Hollow ID on the brain at all times. And whenever I think of the Miku Miku Beam, I just think of Anya's last 3D birthday performance or 3D live. And, Miku guest star there, quote unquote guest star. When she does the Miku Miku Beam, it's just Anya flailing around her. And Matt,
oh, man.
It's pretty good.
It's good. That's good. Jaren, I love me some Miku Miku Beams.
Miku Miku Beam is really good. Matt, since we're in the Gacha zone right now, because the Gacha Gang roams free, did you see who the anniversary character is for the Persona Gacha game, the Persona 5X Gacha game?
I did not. Who's rolling in there, Jaren?
So Matt, think of the vast history of Persona games. And if, of course, you're doing a anniversary unit for your Persona 5 The Phantom X Gacha game.
Yeah.
What if I told you beloved Persona 4 character Hatsune Miku is the university or anniversary unit?
Oh man, that's Trevor. How does that game play? I actually don't know anything about that gacha.
Matt, this came out when it came out. I believe it was last June. Hence, why the anniversary event is coming up this week. That also was when Uma Musume hit global.
Yes,
and I made my choice, Matt.
Yeah,
I made my
same.
Horse girl choice, and I couldn't tell you how this game plays.
Now you bring up Uma Musume. I think it was earlier today, as of this recording, they announced a new JP, a new coming JP Uma, and its name's pretty good. Its name is Title Holder, which I think is pretty hard, Jerry.
That goes extremely hard. Holy shit. That's actually really good.
That's really good.
Maybe one day I'll go back for Still in Love, and then I'll go back for Title Holder, because you have to, Matt. With a name like that, crazy.
It's wild.
So Matt, speaking about gacha games, still in the gacha corner, Nikke got their latest event, which is their Ark Rangers event. This is their Sentai, Power Rangers, adjacent, superhero stuff. But the reason I'm bringing it up to you right now is, Matt, so with all their major events, they usually have a accompanying mini game, and then those mini games get put into the vault that you can access, a few months later. And I think this is one of the community's favorite mini game types, just because this was originally introduced during the Resident Evil collab. Now, Matt, Of course, you can't really bring back the collab minigame, so everyone expected them to bring it back eventually for one of their in-game, in-character events, and this is what it is.
Okay.
Where, Matt, I'm going to explain this game to you, and I'm honestly curious if you've played or know of another game that has left similar mechanics, where at its core, this is a survivor's roguelite, where you have wave-based enemies going at you. In between every rounds, you pick a power-up. Once you get you get your buffs, and then you get your meta progression. But the way you pick your weapons is essentially, Matt, this originally comes from the Resident Evil collab.
Yeah.
What's one Resident Evil thing or mechanic that instantly pops up into your head when you think about that series, that franchise?
Honestly, the first thing I really think of when I think of Resident Evil is like inventory grid. Does it have something to do with that, Jaren?
That's exactly what the weapon system is, where you have your weapon grid and you're selecting your weapons, and then the original Resident Evil minigame here, you couldn't rotate the items, but now one of the quality of life things is now you can rotate them, and when you have double of a weapon, you combine it to up its rarity. So half the game is you inventory managing, you trying to slot in your weapons, and then hopefully when you level up enough for the buffs and the perks, you're able to get perks that synergize with the weapon you have. So that's essentially the game itself. You're managing your inventory. When you're actually in the field battling the waves, it's all automatic, just like a survivor's game, like a bullet heaven game is now. And then you also have your ultimate that you can use occasionally once that's off cooldown as well, where this was definitely a fan favorite, as I said before, when it came around with Resident Evil, and now it's come back for their Ark Rangers event. I think the biggest downgrade is just the weapon sprites this time around, like kind of they're really colorful, but not like a good color palette, in my opinion.
I see.
But the gameplay at its core is there, and I'm still chasing that way 100 high, Matt, where can't do it. RNG isn't lining up, and I'm not sure which meta build to really go for, which originally for Resident Evil, it was the explosives build with the grenade and the grenade launcher. But yeah, just a lot of different weapons. And of course, you have your rerolls, your weapon bans. But yeah, when you think inventory management plus survivors light, roguelite, I feel like this should already be an indie game somewhere as well. But nothing really comes to mind. So I was wondering, Matt, was this something you've ever come across?
I don't know. I feel like the closest thing I can think of is like Backpack Hero.
Yeah.
But I think that isn't. I don't think that was a Survivors like. But I don't know. That's all I could really think of for an inventory management focused game.
If this sounds like it's something up your alley, just check out Nikke now. Once the event ends, I think in 2 weeks, it usually takes a few months, where probably by the fall, when the anniversary event comes around, they'll probably have it in game by then. But yeah, definitely one of the fan favorite Nikke mini games that they've done, and just something I've been doing when my daily rotations hit. For Matt, I'll be honest, I appreciate a gacha game that allows you to, such as Ume Musume, if you miss your dailies, like you miss claiming them, they'll just send it to your inbox. Nikke doesn't do that, which makes me feel real bad. I think Zenless doesn't do that, which I've also missed a few times before. But Matt,
that's how they get you, Jaren. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. That's how they train us, Matt. But unlike my Ume friends, I'm not good. But Matt, now that we're kind of past the gotcha quarter, it's that time of year again. Once again, I believe this happens quarterly at this point. It seems like quarterly, but of course, Matt, I'm talking about the Steam Next Fest, a celebration of upcoming games. This is going on until tomorrow. At the time of recording, it is the 21st. Happy Father's Day. And you know what that means, Matt? Just us going through some of the demos that we've come across. And I feel like I say this every time we introduce these types of episodes, where I think coming off Summer Games Fest, coming off, all the showcases and directs, I think I told you guys last week where I feel like I'm increasingly becoming more unimpressed or kind of apathetic once all these showcases end, where I think, man, nothing is really kind of sticking out to me. And we're now in this weird, I guess not weird per se, and I think we've been in this kind of, I guess, area for a long time now where, Matt, we'll see all these big announcements, and one, they're either never shown again, never discussed again until a few years later. We're not sure if we're coming out. And unfortunately, just based on a lot of the news this week, sometimes they're just proof of concepts and trying to be and are only shown so their studio can be sold out. And that feels icky. It feels icky.
Yeah.
And I'm no longer kind of impressed by the spectacle, but I am impressed by a good demo. And I guess with the growing, I don't know, if interest or hubbub or whatever you want to call it, the celebration of the Steam X Fest, I'm also finding myself checking the store page like a hawk now just to see that a lot more generative AI tags than I was expecting this time around. Got to scroll to the bottom of a store page and make sure it's not there. Where I think, Matt, all the games I'm talking about, I believe, unless I can't read, which, considering how I can't talk as well, might be the case. But I think the generative AI is absent from all the games I'm playing. But a lot more than I thought, which scary times out there, Matt, for my Steam curation, in between all the front slop and that. I have safe search turned off, so there's a lot of H games.
Oh man, well. Jared, there's so many anti games on Steam.
There's a lot, Matt. There's a lot. But Matt, should we kick it off with a game that we've both played? And I think when it was first announced was definitely something that I thought would be a unofficial Mistake Zone title.
Okay.
How did you feel about Truck-kun is supporting me from another world?
I generally enjoyed Truck-kun is supporting me from another world. I found it hard to do the actual objective of Truck-kun supporting me in another world. Yes. I don't know if you felt the same way, because I felt like hitting people was really hard in that game.
It definitely was. So at this core, you play as a truck driver who unfortunately has run over, in anime fashion, a aspiring young and, from what the game says, conventionally attractive young woman who is about to be the vice president of a company on Monday. And now she has been isekai'd into another world, and you have to support her by sending more people into that isekai world for her to slay in order to get the scroll of resurrection. And even though you're facing moral dilemma in doing this, she says it's fine, probably. That vibes are there. This is definitely something I smiled at whenever I saw the character interactions, the dialogue, but you're right. When it comes to just straight up hitting people, I think the driving is okay. I think it controls well enough, but it still has that arcade jank that makes it a bit more challenging.
Yeah.
I do like how there is kind of more than what you expect, just because at its core you expect this to be a game of you driving around and hitting pedestrians, and that's mostly it. But it does have a lot of different objectives for you to do, including such as, oh, hey, you need to smash X amount of billboards or park cars or damage this many enemies. So that adds kind of variety to a game. And of course, you're trying to beat the clock, completing objectives, getting collectibles, increase it. And then there are deliveries that you can kind of take around the city, which don't
Mm-hmm.
seem to be timed as well, which I was kind of expecting them to be. But I guess if you're trying to beat the clock, everything is timed.
Yeah.
Not,
Uh-huh.
I do feel like I wish the break was stronger, just because I feel like when trying to claim a delivery or start a delivery, you have to park in the spot and then it counts down, which kind of took me out of it, especially if I had cops coming towards me. Yeah, it scratches that arcadey crazy taxi itch that I've been looking for. It's dumb fun, and it really, to me at least, nails that bite-sized one more run feeling. But I think as a package it comes together pretty well, but kind of to your point, sometimes in all its hecticness, just running over people or even some of the objectives can be a bit not as intuitive as I wanted. And I think the drift doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah. I don't know, like I generally like the objective stuff, like, oh, go hit a billboard, go like hit like this type of thing and whatnot. I like how fighting the cops and stuff feels. I kind of like the hits and stuff there. I feel like the thing that really like takes me out of the game, and it's not even like specifically about hitting the people. It's about maintaining like the isekai part of the game, where the girl that you hit is kind of just like existing in the bottom, like center of your screen, almost like a rear view mirror, but like at the bottom, and she's like there. Like every time you hit a pedestrian, it goes to the isekai world as a monster, and then you have to hit I guess like objects to give her power to attack those pedestrians. And I think keeping that up was just like really awkward for me, because there would be times where I'm like, oh, I'm just like hunting for pedestrians and I just like can't find them, because for a game where you need to send people to the isekai world, I did find it like very sparse on like where people are sometimes. And I don't know, Jaren, did you play The World Ends With You?
Yes.
It reminded me of like maintaining like your other character who wasn't Neku, and I was like, oh, I really wish it was just like a more automatic part for this, and I could just go around hitting whatever I wanted on the overworld. Because other than the, I guess like reverse and like break being like one thing, I generally like enjoyed the majority of the gameplay in this game.
Where Matt, again, you're the better gamer than me, just because thinking about my time with the demo, the isekai stuff, even though it's a good flavor, that completely glossed over me. Where for me, it was just me hunting down the objectives. That was me the whole time I was playing. I know you do have that isekai portion with you helping what's her face, but when I see the timer, when I see objectives in the top right corner, that's all I'm focused on. Where you're right, you should be hunting pedestrians as well. Not clear to me. And now that you mentioned it, I do wish that there were more people as well to help chain together, and that they should probably encourage that in general in the objectives as well. Like but that's Truck-kun is supporting me from another world. Not where is this landing for you? Is this a wish list? Is this a day one? Is this wait for a sale? What are you feeling?
I think this is like, just for now, it's staying in the wish list for me. I think I need like the main part of the game to be, or I guess the isekai part of the game to be a bit more worked on for me to really want to buy into it.
Fair. And I think this will be, again, I love the overall packaging around it, but yeah, it's something I'll keep an eye out on right now, just because I now that you've mentioned it, I would like that tightened up as well. I think I'll talk about one of the big boy demos I played, just because this is a AAA title coming. I believe it was pushed up, so this is going to be an early September release now. I'm biased as well, because this is on my Fantasy Critic roster, and I'm talking about Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
Yes.
I'm curious if Capcom is able to maintain its hot streak for this year, and in turn, Sega 2 for our Fantasy Critic is able to maintain a consistent streak as well. But Matt, this is a portion of a level with one mid-level boss fight, and I did the boss fight twice, once on the story difficulty and once on the combat or hard difficulty, where
Okay.
this is your, I don't want to say a standard action game, but as someone who, I don't want to say recently, but still has, who always has Sekiro in that rearview mirror of his head, it I feel like I was trying to play it like a Sekiro, where I was only focusing
Mm,
on parries and then just doing counterattacks. But
okay.
for what it is, Onimusha is a very cinematic game when it comes to its attack and overall combat flow. One thing that did stand out to me was that there was a lot of defensive options where I chose. There are also two default controller or controls presets for your if you're using a controller, and I
Mm-hmm.
chose the defensive controller option where it's, do you want to block with your left bumper, or do you want to um, time a parry? Do you want to time your parry with a more impactful variant by pressing L or left bumper and the A button?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where, or do you want to dodge with B? And depending on the context, when you execute it, that could mean the difference between avoiding an attack or allowing yourself a counter. Where, again, there are all of these different defensive um, kind of options for you, but it's a lot of different mechanics thrown at you throughout the demo, and like blade barrages that honestly went over my head. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I really need to sit down and comprehend what's being said to me and practice it. Where, Matt,
Uh-huh.
what type of tutorial do you prefer? One that just simply tells you what to do, or one that lets you kind of pass and it just tells you what to do, and then you can just go on with your way? Or do you like it with, say, Zenless Zone Zero, where it tells you what to do and you have to specifically execute it before you can go on?
Um, I mean, I think I like the one where you have to specifically do the thing to pass
Mhm.
on, just because I don't know. I feel like it's less likely that the player will miss something in one of
Yeah.
those, and I feel like when you're going into, I don't know, I guess like more combat oriented games, it's better to have like a real understanding of your kit, for lack of a better
Hmm.
word here.
Where that's the one I kind of prefer as well, especially for action games, just that give you a lot of different options. But yeah, as I
Mm-hmm.
said, you kind of get the text box and then you're free to do whatever you want. And
Mm.
again, as someone who is officially bad at video games, kind of need a bit guidance there. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
overall, it feels like a tight action game with nice animations. Did not understand a lick of the story, Matt, but from a gameplay perspective, it was definitely something I do want to keep an eye out for, just because it does feel good. It's a, maybe I am placing Sekiro on such a high pedestal, but I feel like it is a lot. It doesn't seem as methodical as Sekiro, but it still is
Mm-hmm.
pretty fast paced. It does feel, again, you have all these different combat options to make it look like a good spectacle. And I'm sure if you pump up the difficulty, uh, you'll come close to what you're looking for if you're a fan of Sekiro, but
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
I am. So yeah, keeping an eye
Mm.
out on Onimusha Wave of the Sword. But if I had to be completely honest, Matt,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'd get to Pragmata and Resident Evil Requiem before I got to this, but definitely something I want to keep an eye out. And the
Mm.
demo did feel good enough. The boss fight at the end, uh, makes me excited to see where they're going to go with the boss fights in the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
Mm-hmm.
what else did you check out during the Steam Next Fest this time around?
I mean, Jared, I was going to talk about something else here, but since you kept kind of mentioning Sekiro within Onimusha, I think that I'm going to go with what I think is a first person Sekiro like in
Hmm.
Valor Mortis.
Okay.
Um, this is like I said, a first person game that takes place during, I think, like an alternate history Napoleonic Wars, because like Napoleon is sort of an NPC in this, because keeps getting
Okay.
like mentioned by the player, and it does have like those kind of uniforms that you would be expecting those kind of soldiers to wear. But there is, of course, in true, I guess, Souls-like fashion, some weird shit going on here, Jaren.
Of course.
And you are playing as somebody who I believe definitely died, and now you are wandering kind of like the battlefields and trying to figure out what's going on. And oh man, Jaren, the reason that I said that this is more of a Sekiro-like than a Souls-like is that, you know, while it does have like the very Souls formula of, hey, like go from point A to point B, hit your lanterns, which are your bonfire equivalents along the way, kill enemies, get, I think from them it's like their blood, and then use that to level yourself up. And of course, if you die, you drop it, and if you die again, you lose access to getting it back.
Of course.
You know, very standard Souls-like stuff. But the reason I was saying that it was like probably more Sekiro is that this game so heavily revolves around the parry. While you are like kind of doing everything in first person, like the weapons that you have access to is kind of like a saber, a pistol with limited bullets that, Jaren, okay, you have the pistol with limited bullets, and then you have basically a magic meter. Your magic meter rises whenever you do your melee attacks, and the pistol, you need to pick up bullets, and I don't like that because the bullets feel very scarce, and I don't know how often they're going to come back, and that worries me. But the game is, I think that the game is like really interesting. I don't really much care for the theming because I've never really been a fan of like, I guess, like war period pieces.
Yes.
But the gameplay is like very much there. Like there are like two I guess areas that you can go through. The intro area, and then there's an area later on in the game. I kind of just only did the intro area, and this does feel so Dark Souls. Like, you know, I am like, hey, dying here because, hey, I got shot from, I don't know, across the field by some dude with a rifle, and you know, you got that Dark Souls cheese where, okay, I got over to the dude that killed me with the rifle, and he's standing on a platform, but he doesn't jump down from the platform, but he'll come to the edge of the platform to try to hit you. But he only hits like horizontally from himself, so he'll never hit you. But you can jump and you can swing your sword at him, and you'll hit him, and you know eventually you'll kill him in that classic cheese fashion. But
I think you sold me on this game.
But like, I don't know, the parries are like actually I think like very nice in this game. It does have the kind of stagger bar system where, hey, you know, you're filling up a stagger bar when you're doing your parries, and then you're just executing a finisher, and that is both on, you know, normal enemies and your boss enemies. And while I think you can maybe, you know, work your way through this game without ever parrying, I think it is so obvious that this game is built around parries, because there's like, even when you're leveling up, this is not like really a Dark Souls leveling system. It's more so like you're just picking specific powers in the same way, or like nodes in the same way that I think Sekiro works. So you're not really able to, I think, create like a particularly super deviant build from what the devs want you to do. It's just really, you know, you're kind of like working within like the tools that they give you. And Jaren, I'm not going to say that the parry window is very generous, but I'm not going to say it's very tight. I think it's like a very fair parry window as well. Okay. And there is so much, what do you call it? I guess like, what's a word to use here? Like foreshadowing, not for like wind up. Like, yeah, it's very clear, like the intention of like where you are going to be able to parry, to the point that like it, like at the very first boss, like, you know, for most of their combos, even the first time I'm seeing them, I can generally parry at least like 60% of their combo, like first time through. And I don't know, like I thought this was a very fun game. I've never really played a parry focused first person game before, so I think that like novelty is like also wearing on me. I don't know if you like, did you look at this game at all, Jaren, or no?
I'm looking at the store page right now at the very least, and Matt, the monster design or the enemy design for some of the bigger, what seems to be like boss characters, like they're really striking. I actually really like how these bosses are designed. half the time, if you told me that this was a Resident Evil 4 enemy, I would probably believe you as well. But
yeah, I could see that.
There's something gnarly about them that is really striking to me. And just even looking at the gameplay, it looks neat. Again, this might not necessarily be my thing, just because I agree, for these kind of historical time period pieces or set pieces like this, not really my thing, but hopefully it plays well. The reviews on Steam for the demo are mostly positive. You know, I'm seeing a few red thumbs right now, but generally a lot of more blue ones as well. So it looks cool at the very least. Matt, did you like how the monsters were designed?
Yeah, I generally liked their design. Like, I thought it was very what I would expect Dark Souls to be if it was in this like era, and I think they really nailed the aesthetic. Yeah,
looks really cool too. But yeah, Matt, this is Valor Mortis demo out now. I believe this is coming out October, correct?
Yeah, I think. Okay, I'm not sure because maybe this might be coming out on early access. Jaren, I'll be honest, I was looking at maybe putting this game onto my fantasy critic, and I was seeing that like it might release in like 4 weeks or something. So I'm not really sure what's going on with its release date.
It does say on the Steam page, planned release date October 13th, but I'm not sure if that indicates early access or not, just because some of the more negative facing reviews did say that it felt like early access, so I'm not sure what they're leaning towards, but that's not their podcast. This is the Mistake Zone, but you seem to generally enjoy the demo.
Yeah, I did. I think this is definitely leaning in that like by eventually. Jared, it really depends on what the release price is going to be for me.
Fair. But Matt, speaking about release pricing, I guess one game I wanted to bring up was a game that I had downloaded since last Steam Next Fest, and I believe this game is coming out in a few weeks as well. And I'm talking about Jenny the Witch, which is a third-person action game where you play as Jenny, a girl who pilots a human-sized mech witch, and she has a brother, Connor, who is acting as her support. And they take a contract to investigate the Brooklyn understructure to find 4 missing service workers. Where really do like the aesthetic. Matt, I do like how we're seeing a lot more games have that, PS1 era look to it, or at least the look in my head that I associate with the PS1 generation, even though it might not look one-to-one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jenny has access to primarily a primary automatic attack, a ranged attack, a melee combo, a jump and a dash. You unlock missiles as well, but Matt, honestly, even with the tutorial blur, I'm still not sure how the missiles work. It seems like they kind of just shoot up into the air and they don't really hone into your enemies or anything, so that might be something I need to look into as well. But eventually you're able to buy upgrades, abilities, and special moves, and though it does support controllers, when you do unlock the abilities, they are assigned to the D-pad, which makes it a bit awkward. So I think this feels like it's more suited for mouse and keyboard, where your abilities, are on your upper number pad, or you can assign to like Q and E and stuff. But as I said before, Matt, I like the visuals and overall art style. The combat itself is pretty basic in the demo, even when you open up a few abilities. And maybe it's because the enemies were more fodder hordes that kind of attacked you, where you don't really get those intimate encounters to really let you test out any combo options or anything. But Matt, I looked into the store description, of course, and it said that the plan to launch the game around $7 USD will only be a few hours long, with replayability through difficulty options and score systems. Not these straight up say
it's a roguelike?
No, it's just it seems to be a linear line. Sorry. It just seems to be a straightforward experience. And it is noted to be a short game, and I quote, "Please buy it if you like short games," which Matt kind of sells me on the package overall again.
That's pretty good.
Where I'm not sure how much more in-depth the combat will be, but I think what's present is tight enough for what they're trying to sell at the very least, what they're presenting. So the demo is pretty short, but I think what's there plus this promised $7 price tag makes it worth something I will keep an eye out, potentially buy at launch if everything goes right for it. And I don't know, Matt, I do like a good proxy storyline with siblings as as you know, shown off by our talk with Zenless Zone Zero in the beginning.
That's good.
And so that's Jenny the Witch. Yeah, pretty good. And hopefully it is something for a person like me who does like a short games experience.
Oh man, that sounds good.
What else do you got?
Jaren, okay, so when you were talking about Jenny the Witch, I was kind of like looking at gameplay and, you know, kind of just like how it looked. I thought it was a roguelike. So I'm going to tell you about a game that when I look at it, I just cannot believe that it is not a specific genre, which is Dragonsword Awakening.
Okay.
Jaren, everything about this game so violently screams that it is a gacha. And Jaren, I looked at this demo, I went online and I read about this game. This game was supposed to be a gacha, but they decided to scrap it being a gacha. But after I played the demo, I had to like double check because Jaren, this feels so much like a gacha. The progression in this game is like, okay, Jaren, the demo of this game is basically, I guess, like the intro story of this game, which is basically, hey, you get separated from like your player character gets separated from the crew. He like washes up on shore somewhere, and then he meets a whole other set of people. And Jaren, you get them one at a time. This is a character switching gacha combat game, but not a gacha. You are kind of like, you know, as you do in this type of game, operating in 3D space. You have your extra attack. You have your Y for your and this is like Xbox controller layout. Y for your alternate attacks. You have Jaren, for like your alternate special attacks, you have them on left bumper plus X or left bumper plus Y. Like those are two separate attacks. And Jaren, this is one of those games where you can't rebind your controller.
Ooh, that's rough.
Which really bothered me. You can rebind your keyboard controls, but you can't rebind the controller controls. And I had to go. I ended up just going into Steam Input and rebinding it through there. But when you have like these kind of I guess like shifted extra attacks where you are pressing the bumper or the trigger with the face buttons. Do you have a preference on which? Like, do you prefer to press the bumper or the trigger to activate them?
Man, Matt, I was actually thinking about this when I was playing Jenny the Witch. Just because on default, her ranged attack is right trigger, and then her melee attack is right bumper. Back when I was trying to play on controller. And I feel like when you assign, of course, range attack feels like it should be trigger.
Yeah.
But I think for me, Matt, if you assign something to the trigger, and I'm curious if you agree or not, do you think that's the main attack? Like, if something's on the trigger, that's your go-to bread and butter, where if it was on the bumper, that's kind of your secondary attack. I guess that's my follow-up question to your question.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that because I think I guess associate the trigger with so much like the shoot button, especially the right trigger. Yeah. So that would be if like your attacks are on those buttons, I would expect the right trigger button to be your main attack.
Where I think with the Souls games, when I first was introduced to those, with those attacks being on the your kind of shoulder buttons in general, I think that took me time to get accustomed to, just because I grew up with, attack buttons on your face layout. And I think when it comes to preferences, I have that in my head that the bumpers are your secondary.
Yeah.
Those are your companions. Those are your supports, where everything main is on the trigger. And I guess I'm now so much accustomed to the trigger. So Matt, does that answer your question? Because I don't know where I went with that.
I think it's that you prefer to press like the trigger if you're doing something, and
Yeah,
that's where I live as well, because that's where my fingers rest on the controller. Jaren, when I see people who hold the controller where like they have their middle fingers on the triggers and then their index fingers on the bumpers, I think they're
right,
weird.
That's not right. That's not right.
That's unnatural. But like going back to Dragon Sword, everything about this so screams gacha. When you kill an enemy, you get like 3 pop-ups on your screen that say, "Hey, here's your XP, here's your currency, and here's like account XP or something, or like crafting materials." It's so weird. Like they never removed the gacha from this game, the gacha mechanics from this game, and when they removed like the gacha itself, and it just feels so jarring to see, hey, I have a whole group of 5-star characters in my what do you call it, roster, but I don't have to roll for them.
Oh man, Matt, are we just too gacha brains?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so, Jared. Like you get you get multiple mats that you can get on here. Like Jared, okay, the game feels very good. Like it's just that like there's this weird looming in my heart that like, oh, when am I gonna have to pull in this game? Why aren't they springing it on me yet? It's like in a horror movie when you're waiting for like the big thing to happen, the big scary thing to happen, but they just don't make it happen, and it draws it out even more and more. You just get more and more stressed. But I don't know. This game is like good. I think the game is very fun. It has a lot of, I think, like fun team mechanics in it, where like it's kind of very I don't know if you ever ended up trying the Arc Knight's combat, but it has a similar thing in there where your characters can kind of go into combos. It puts the enemies into like a basically status state, like of like stuff like, oh, airborne, or they got like an infliction on them or something, and then that allows you to use your D-pad to do like a follow-up switch attack with like another character. And I feel like with that system it ends up flowing very nicely. And I don't know, like the game feels like very good. It's, I don't know, it's just that like the weird not gotcha-ness of it is throwing me off. But I really do think that if this game is priced well for me, that I am going to end up playing it.
Matt, we're broken. We're broken. This is why the Gacha Gang can't have nice things. But
Jared, like if you look at the Steam page, there's still even like character trailers. I'm like, hey, like, here's this character, and I don't know, it just feels so gacha to me that it not being a gacha is hurting me so bad.
Where, Matt, don't get me wrong, I appreciate when I think gaming would be better off if there was no gacha games.
Yes, of course. Jared, yeah, of course.
Where if there's a game that is a full pay-to-play game, pay your one price, get all your content, you know, how we grew up.
That's definitely the way to do it.
Us being the boomers yelling at clouds, like I would prefer that. But again, there's something off when you obviously strip out the gacha portions, where I would prefer if it was more kind of ingrained to that typical single player experience, instead of just appearing to take out all the monetization, which I can't tell if it's still something positive, but it's still something kind of icky as well to it. But I appreciate that they're releasing this as a hopefully affordable game that has the quality there. But that, let's talk about a game we both played that honestly I had the same questions as you for Recure.
Yes.
Is this a gacha game?
From what I understand, it is also not a gacha game, but man, does it play like a gacha game.
So Matt, this on its surface, you're in the introductory movie, that character is straight up using Steam. That was one-to-one Steam.
Yeah, that was wild.
Where that felt illegal to me. But Recure, reading the story description here, is a fast-paced action roguelite stop me if you've heard that before,
Uh-huh.
where you find yourself trapped inside the 1000th game you've bought but never played.
Jared, they're attacking us.
That felt bad. That felt bad, and I'm
Uh-huh.
scared the next game I buy, I will be isekai'd into.
Mm.
But yeah, Matt, this is as it said, an action game, roguelite that has you fighting enemies in between fights. You get to buy upgrades that, give you different effects to your, what seemed to be, Matt, one attack string, where, Matt, from what you played, does the combat open up? Because that one attack string combo, and you do have your special attack, that's why I thought this feels like a gacha game to me.
Okay, did you use the extra attack at all or no? Because I thought the extra attack changed the formula up enough that I thought it was very interesting.
Matt, I'll be honest, all I did was parry and attack.
Okay. So, like you said, this does feel like very gacha combat. You have your basic attack string on one button, and then you have your special attack button on the other button. But in this kind of game, the way that they usually set things up is that even within your attack strings and your specials, there is your quote unquote heavy attack within there. Which is just your one big hit, and then you are able to press the right trigger after any big hit. So after any counter attack, after any counter dash or any parry attack, you are able to do a follow-up attack called extra attack, which is just an even bigger hit, but it takes time to wind up. And I don't know, I think being the question of hey, am I going to be able to fit in this very big committed animation attack into this spot is I don't know, I thought it was a very interesting add to the game, and it added enough for me that I was interested in playing this, because I felt of the, what do you call it, fast-paced action roguelike combat games that I was playing, I liked this one a lot. I thought this was pretty fun, and the way that they incorporate their roguelike sort of a system into it, I thought was pretty cool.
Where, Matt, I think I did myself a disservice because I played surprise, I don't have enough space on my desktop to download the game.
Yeah.
It was 17 gigs, which is alarming to everyone out there.
Okay, Valor Mortis, Recure, and Dragonsword. Those were all 17 gigs at least to download. And I think that if you're going to put out a demo, that thing needs to be under 5 for sure. And I think 5 is pushing it.
Where I think it was smaller on the Steam Deck. I think it was only 6 gigs on the Steam Deck. So maybe I'm missing something.
Okay.
But the GIFs on the store page make this game look a lot. Well, of course it's a GIF. It's a marketing GIF. Of course it's going to look a lot better. Where maybe it was because I was playing on the Steam Deck, I felt a bit underwhelmed by the animations. And that you only have one character, or at least I only played one character, Chillo. I'm looking on the Steam page right now, and they have a gameplay GIF of Plummy, who seems to be their ranged character. Matt, do you have the store page open up right now by any chance?
Yeah, I do.
Matt, is Plummy did they just take Billy's animations?
Yeah, I'm looking
Billy?
at I'm looking at her spin in place, and that's a very Billy animation. But
where I told you this the first time I ever told you about Zenless Zone Zero. Ranged characters in these type of games look so underwhelming to me. They were Grace initially, Billy initially, and ZZZ underwhelming. I'm looking at this Plummy GIF that is just Billy, and in turn looks underwhelming as well. But at least Chillo looks pretty cool, I guess. I think I'm a Daria simp so far, but yeah, this is definitely something I'll keep an eye out on. Environments, they're just your basic combat arenas.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how much more, how deep the roguelite systems go, and how if there's more variety to the environments overall. And that of, as you said before, for some of these other games, depending on the price point, is if I'm going to buy into this or not. I'm hoping to, just because there seems to be potential in it that appeals to me and my gacha brain. But at the same time, if if it's a bit on the pricier side, there are other demos that, stole my heart as well this time around. But yeah, Matt, any final thoughts on the Ved Recure demo?
I mean, I'm interested in it. Jaren, like you said in a Discord message to me, that first boss, he got hands.
Yep, that first boss took me a few times.
And I don't know, I became interested in this game when I realized how much hands that boss got.
Yeah. Where Matt, I like the gif of Chillo just pairing stuff. And
Which was me.
Matt, say what you will. Chillo looks like a mix between Ambi and W from Arknights, and I don't know if I'm here for it, but I might be here for it.
I got it.
Matt, what else did you check out during the Next Fest?
Okay, Jaren, did you check out Stickerino?
I did not. But Matt, that sounds like a pretty good name.
Jaren. I think that even after this episode, you need to check out Stickerino. Because it combines aspects of, another favorite we had demo-wise called My Card is Better Than Your Card.
Yes.
Jaren, it's weird that there's two sticker card games that kind of just exist. But Jaren, this is a sticker card game where for people who don't understand what that mechanic is, because it's a fucking weird one. You basically kind of there is the core gameplay loop of, hey, you're basically just playing crazy eights with yourself, where there's a card out, and then you have some cards in your hand, and you have to match the color or the number of cards. And these cards are pink, blue, green, and you can put triangle, circle, squares on it, and then there's going to be 1 to 3 of them. And there are repeats of these cards, so you can have a 3 pink triangle in your hand and a 3 pink triangle on the board, and you want to play that for maximum points or whatever. And where the stickers comes in is that you are able to put stickers on these cards that modify them. So it's when you play this card, it actually gives you 1 more point than before. Or when you play this card, you get money from it, and or you have increased multipliers when you play this card. Because Jaren, this is a Velatro. And
you're selling me, Matt. You're selling me.
Jaren, you have to play this game, because I feel aesthetically and it being a Velatro, this game is so made for you.
Okay.
This game is essentially about just playing your card combos together. It does everything Velatro or everything that Balatro DNA does, where you have your basic setup, and then you are setting up, hey, RNG modifiers for when you put a sticker on a card, you put or when you play a card, you remove a sticker from it, but you put that sticker on every other card in your hand. Or I don't know, when you you can change the color of a card if you RNG into it that way. Or whenever you draw a card, you just fucking get rid of it and divide everything between all your other cards. And I don't know, this game, Jaren, the DNA of Balatro is so ingrained in this game that I really do think that you need to try this out, especially with Jaren. If you're like me and be just basically a child, I like stickers, and I like watching the stickers get put on these cards.
Matt, I see the cool S, and of course, when you see the cool S, you have to. Matt, this looks fun. This looks fun. And you definitely sold me on it, where I'm definitely going to download the demo after this recording. But this is Stickerino. Matt, planned release 2026. Could be a cool one. Could be a cool one. But Matt, now that you open the floodgates to, let's say, these type of games.
Okay.
I played the demo for Meaningless Random Numbers. And Matt,
okay.
At its core, this is a dice game. And stop me if you've heard this before. You click to get a random number. Each random number earns you money and then earns you XP. Then Matt, you can use your XP to buy what they call success upgrades, such as additional number boxes to roll or rerolls. And then you can use your money to buy cash upgrades, let's level up my pair every time I get a pair, or every time I get 3 of a kind, in order to get more money. So Matt, simple, right?
Uh-huh.
Matt, you're also trying to pay off the double within a certain amount of days.
Of course.
And the faster you're able to do so, the more prestige points you get in order to get your permanent upgrades. So you're able to get money faster. And then Matt, you can use your prestige points to get a gun, which gets you the gun minigame, where every time you get 3 of a kind, you get a bullet. And then you can use that bullet to potentially shoot someone to gain fear, which adds to your multiplier. But not the first time I played the gun minigame, it told me, hey, do you want to shoot one of 2 skulls? One being a nurse and a mother of 2 that gives you 2 fear, or a corrupt cop with higher HP and gives you more fear. Sometimes God can start watching you, which means you get a sin. But if you roll a pair, you can cleanse them. The whole goal of the game is to automate your random numbers by the end, I guess. It has that grimy aesthetic where it's not exactly like Cruelty Squad or like Buckshot Roulette, but it's of the same kin, I guess. It also has a banging electronic soundtrack, and Matt, the numbers must go up. Numbers always have to go up, Matt.
Of course.
But yeah, if you like that aesthetic, if you like numbers going up, meaningless random numbers, I played this longer than I thought I would. And I think it's enough of that kind of uneasy feeling where I might, depending on, again, on the price point, something I want to keep my eye out when this eventually, I believe, will launch this year. But Matt, any other games or numbers had to go up for you?
Yeah, Jaren, actually, there's 2 games I kind of want to talk about together for numbers going up, which is Eternal Woods and IGTAP, an incremental game that's also a platformer. Jaren, that second one, like, it's all there in the title. It's an incremental game that's also a platformer where you have to do a small platforming segment, and the faster you do it, you can like create ghosts that like do what you did, and the faster that they do it, the more in-game number that you get. For Eternal Woods, you are what do you call it? What are they called? A lumberman? you cut down trees, Jared. You cut down trees, and the more trees that you cut down, the better that you get at cutting down trees. It follows a weird system to me, which is that you only initially have like 10 seconds to cut down as many trees as you can. And as you upgrade your character, you increase this time, and you also like increase your skill or whatever, so that you can do it for longer. But for this type of game, that feels so weird to me. Because it like, Jaren, both of these games I think are number go up, and
yes,
I was feeling that like this timer in Eternal Woods was adding like this weird, I don't know, like friction in this game that I didn't really enjoy, where it stopped the number from going up, even though that's when you do your upgrades. And versus something like incremental game that's also a platformer, where you do your platforming and I feel like there should be a lot of automation in these type of games.
Yeah.
And I think Eternal Woods doesn't have any automation at all. It is very much you have to physically go and cut these trees down. And that's weird to me because I don't know, you're doing so much activity for making number go up without any, I want to say, like real meaningful interaction within the game. Because you're basically just like walking into the trees, and versus something like incremental game that's also a platformer, where it is also a numbers go up game, but there is something more involved where you are doing like you're trying to optimize your run for this platforming segment. So while you are basically doing the same amount of work in this game as Eternal Woods, it doesn't feel stagnant, I want to say, for lack of a better word. And I don't know, Jared, how much like I guess like the thing I wanted to like bring into here is like how much actual like, hey, you should be doing a thing versus how much automation do you like in this sort of numbers go up game?
Now that's hard to say, just because I feel like I'm going to go back to Vampire Survivors. I think once you hit that point of automation, you can't go back. Like Matt, as much as I adore Vampire Survivors, I can't play Vampire Survivors anymore just because I have that one end-all be-all automatic build in my head. And I'm just trying to build that as fast as I can, where even though I should be trying to explore, trying to do different builds, and I guess that's what the adventure stuff in Vampire Survivors is for now. Can't do it anymore. Matt, my brain's broken because of Gacha games and numbers having to go up. Where I think, honestly, it's the same with meaningless random numbers, where when I read the blurb that this is supposed to be eventually be an automatic game, that put a small pit in my stomach of, I want to be able to have a substantial time with these games with some sort of meaningful interaction that feels satisfying. Because once I get to that automatic portion, we're done. We're done, skis, Matt. We're done. We're so done. It's so over. But yeah, that's kind of where I am, where I have, if I know that path exists, I feel like I'm broken in a way where I'm going to try to get that as fast as possible. And at that point, it will kill the game for me. So that's kind of my take, where I still want something meaningful before I get there. But where do you fall, Matt?
I mean, I like being able to know that there's the automatic area of the game, because it gives me something to work towards and free myself from the game.
Yes.
Like, I like to hit that goal, and then I will, in this, like, that type of game, see how many other ways I can reach that goal. Because then at that point, it becomes an optimization game for me of how quickly can I reach that goal and how well can I reach that goal. That it lets me leave the game at a comfortable place, or like a satisfying place for me.
Okay. But Matt, once you get there, though,
once you get there,
feels real good. I think since I kind of opened the floodgates with meaningless random numbers, I think I will talk about another odd game that honestly I would probably put as top 2 for me in terms of demos for the Steam Next Fest that I played. Matt, just right off the bat, how do you feel about games putting you right in it? No tutorials, no button prompts, and you just have to figure it out.
Oh, it depends on how complicated the game is, I think.
Matt, what if that game is fishing?
Okay. I mean, how complicated are we going here, Jen? How complicated are we going?
So, Matt, there was something. So I'm talking about fishing. And then there was something about you being just thrown into it. Just being thrown in the water, as if you will. Something about it being vague and you mashing your way that made me want to quit the game, to be perfectly honest. But I kept up with it. You do get a proper tutorial after, but it was a lot of me going, oh, do I move the left stick? Do I pull the triggers? Do I press the face buttons? And at the same time, there is this narrator. It's not a voice narrator, but text on the screen that says, oh, the fish was patient, you weren't, or there's these light jabs at you for not knowing what to do. Okay. But then you eventually figure it out, and then you get the proper tutorial afterwards. So Matt, I'm going to describe the fishing aspect about fishing first. This is a fishing game where you use RT to enter fishing mode. Here you get a reticle that you aim into the water with the right stick. And then when you have the spot you want to do, you use your left stick to cast. But basically when you cast, you're going one direction to another with the stick. So, up, down, up, left, right, diagonally. And then you have to time it right, where when you hit the opposite direction of the stick, you let go of the right trigger to cast. And then you get into the actual reeling part where so eventually what I figured out in the tutorial is you have to, when a fish bites, you use the right trigger to start pulling them in, and then you can use the left stick to kind of help pull them towards you and angle them. But outside that initial part, you have to consider your string strength, because if it glows red, that means it's close to snapping. So, you have to kind of let it go, let the fish kind of reset itself, and then that's when you start trying to reel it back in. So, there is a lot of balancing to do with the stick itself. You're fighting the fish with the left stick, and then you're pulling it in with RT. The line could break, so you have to make sure to reset it. So that's kind of the core fishing mechanics there. Matt, the reason that I like this game so much is just its overall vibe, its overall themes, its setting, where the prologue starts really strongly once you finish learning how to play. There's just something unsettling, something that's so eerie about it. And then you get to the main premise of the game after the striking reveal at the end of the prologue. Matt, this is essentially a murder mystery that you need to solve. And the gameplay loop seems to be, you talk to people for leads, you fish for fish to sell, you upgrade your rod, then you fish for clues, rinse and repeat. And again, I just really like the overall package, how it looks, how the game feels, its style, and even the soundtrack. I'm just really excited for what this game hopefully is. It left a really strong impression for me. It gives me that same pit of the stomach I had, playing Deadly Premonition or watching Twin Peaks, and then there's just something, again, going back to that grimy graphic style, something off about it, but something that specifically is calling to me. So this is about fishing. Really keeping an eye out on this one. And that, me, sometimes I like me a good fishing minigame. And once I got used to it, I think this is something I was feeling by the end of it. But Matt, should we go to a game that I know we both played?
Yeah. Let's go in.
So Matt, how did you think about Slayblade?
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to talk about another game that we both played.
No.
Jaren, I am so in like two places on Slayblade. I conceptually really like this game. The gameplay is so weird.
Yes.
Because I can't tell how to play this game better, if that makes sense. And Jared, I don't like the menus in this game. I think it's very, very weird. But I think that's taking a step a bit too far.
Yeah.
For, I guess, like people who don't know what Slayblade is, if you know what Beyblades are, man, you are like 80% of the way there. Because this is a Beyblade, a spinning tops battling game. Where you spin these tops into a bowl, and then you smash them against each other, and then whoever top is spinning at the end wins. It has this like really, I find like the control of it very interesting, where it has like basically like a tethered mouse control, where you're able to move your mouse around, and your Slayblade is connected to it essentially by like a tether, and it'll follow it, but it has like momentum, it has like weight, and it has speed to it that the control for it is very, very interesting. Now, what I don't like is that it decides to bring this control into like the overworld where you're trying to pick what you're doing, and I think that's crazy. The fact that the overworld also spins, like when you come out of a match, so that you are or you have to like reorient yourself every time. Insane, Jared. That is insane. And like the fact that I don't know how to get better at this game. Like the parts, you build your Slayblade out of 3 parts, which I think like is your like outer ring, your weight, and then your tip. And I don't know, Jaren, I felt so lost in this game in terms of what to really do in terms of like leveling up and stuff. But that's a lot about how I felt, Jared. How are your feelings on Slayblade?
It's also I have mixed feelings with Slayblade. One, I like the name. Good name.
Yes, good game. Good name. 10 out of 10.
I agree that I wasn't sure what I should be building towards my Slayblade, just because some point, there's a gachapon. Hey, we're the Gacha Gang. That let me
of
roll
course.
for different parts for my blade, or I can just go to the store and buy new parts. And at that point, I'm just either rolling or buying to hope I get something with a lot of different icons on it that I think are good. I'm hoping. I there are things surrounding this game that I like, such as, sure, you can do battles, but you can also mow grass with your Beyblade to get with your Slayblade to get XP or money. Or Matt, at night when night falls, you can do an illegal battle, which just I like the illegal battle phrase. I unlocked a blade head that was called For the Children, and it was essentially the Wu-Tang logo, which also spoke to me. Not two things. One, why can't I let it rip? There's like there's notably insane. No ripping here.
That is insane that you would leave out that part of legally distinct Beyblades.
And then two, Matt, this is such a weird demo where... So I think you're supposed to enter a league or something like that.
Yes.
So it says, hey, the league is in 4 days. It costs $50 to enter. Okay. So I'm battling, and then I hover where the tournament takes place. And it says, okay, 3 days. So I'm like, okay, do I enter it? So I click it. Nothing happens. And then, I'm doing my battles. I'm mowing grass. I'm rolling gacha. Then I see, okay, it's the quarterfinals. I'm like, oh, do I enter now? I click it, nothing happens. So I keep battling, and it eventually gets to the finals. I click it, and then the demo ends. And Matt, I'm not sure how to progress in this demo. And so far, for the 3 runs I did, I just let it... I didn't let it rip, but I was just battling people, trying to customize my blades to what I understand. And then, Matt, this is what scares me. Again, there's so much of the game I like, but I also feel like I got my fill from the demo itself.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, there isn't enough here to like really, I guess, like pull me into it, because it's so loose about what its mechanics are that I just like really, or at least I feel that it's very loose about what its mechanics are that I can't really like, I don't know, find like a real hook to keep playing or push for.
Yeah, I'll be honest, once I saw that For the Children Bladehead, I thought, damn, I'm good, I'm full. But something I'll keep an eye out on, but I hope it gets tightened up for the full release.
Yeah, I really hope that it ends up getting more in it.
Matt, you check out anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do want to talk about a particular game called Zhen, Zhen, Shattered Legacy.
Okay.
Because this game is weird to me. This is a kind of like action, like isometric action RPG, but it has a unique mechanic to it. Like okay, first of all, like it's kind of like one of those kind of like Devil May Cry style thing where it is like, hey, you're battling these things and you're kind of like score chasing, like, in that kind of sense. But the kind of unique thing about this game, at least to me, because I don't think I've seen this mechanic applied to this type of game before, is that it is a almost like twin stick shooter in that you don't use your face buttons to attack. You are using the right thumbstick to like direction your attacks. So like the direction that you tap on your thumbstick is the direction like your character will attack or like do combos or whatever. Like you can hold in that direction to like, after some upgrades and stuff, you can hold in that direction to do like, a stronger attack. There's multiple weapons in this game, so each weapon has its own kind of like, kind of mechanics here. Like you start with a staff, so every tap in a direction is a swing in that direction, and then if you like hold it down, you kind of just do a hard swing. Versus you get a spear later, and of course with the spear you're just going to do like a tap in that direction, it'll be like a spear jab in that direction. But if you hold in that direction, instead of doing like a heavy attack, you kind of just do continuous spear pokes in that direction. Like I'm really interested in seeing like what weapons they end up bringing into this game, because I feel like that can really like open it up. You are able to do like kind of sweeping attacks where you kind of, you know, do a full circle and you like do a attack around you. And there is so much kind of like interesting stuff that unlocks with using your right stick as a attack media, or like your attack button, for lack of a better word here. But it's so weird. It's just like so, I don't know, it's strange to not be using the face button to attack here. I do think the enemies are a bit spongy, but I think that you kind of want that in this type of game where you're kind of like aiming to do combos between a lot of enemies. This game has a very, Jaren, you may like to hear, this game has a very generous counter window.
I like the sound of that, Matt.
Where when an enemy is attacking you, you do have to, like, I guess it's a very generous counter window now that I think about it, because you have to tap into the direction the enemy's attacking you in, which I guess like really adds to, hey, you don't need to just like, you know, simply press a button. But the reason I really wanted to talk to you about this, Jaren, is that I found this transition like very odd, and I was wondering if, because I remember having the same feeling when I was first playing the skate games. Because that is like, you know, coming from like Tony Hawk, where you were kind of doing, hey, all your tricks are like on your face buttons, like, oh, here's your flip tricks, here's your grinds, here's your grabs. And I don't know, it felt a lot like I was transitioning over to like, you know, playing skate. And I don't know, it just like kind of really weirded me out. And you know, Jared, how do you feel about like that sort of like I guess transition? Like, do you have a preference between skates, I guess, a control scheme versus a Tony Hawk's, or are you kind of just like in the middle for both of them?
So Matt, when you first talked about Zhen, this was something I came across, you know, when trying to see what games to try for Steam Next Fest. And I think at first the visuals aren't necessarily my jam, so that's kind of why I glossed over it. But when you said the stick controls, I got immediately curious, just because when I think about kind of the right stick controls, Skate obviously comes to mind. And I think I've gotten to the point with Skate where, you know, there are two different things between Skate and Tony Hawk. And I've come to enjoy both of them. And I've played a lot of different skate games that have the right stick controls, or at least analog controls to varying degrees. And I always felt like the skate one, since I gotten used to it, was the tightest of them all, and has become my preference when I want to play something quote unquote more realistic, even though skate has gotten zany over the years as well. Where I do like them both, but I also think about games that primarily attach combo to the right stick, where I think about the Fight Night games, for example, where the first time I played, what was it, Fight Night Round 3 or Champion, when they had the stick controls, Matt, I couldn't get it down at all. And another example would be Def Jam Icon, because, you know, this was the first time it went to EA Chicago. I'm so used to the Aki, you know, wrestling adjacent face button grapple style. So to go into the stick controls that were more reminiscent of the Fight Night games, Matt couldn't get it at all. And this also reminds me of the Tekken beat 'em up starring Nina Williams, Death by Degrees. Also combat with the right stick, couldn't get it at all. And I think there was a Jet Li game for the PS2, or I might just be racist there, but there was a martial arts game for the PS2 from Sony, I believe, that did do the right stick combat. Matt, surprise, couldn't get it as well. Matt, I want to check this out just because on paper, the right stick, you know, similar to what you said, breaks my brain. But I'm really curious just to see how it feels, and if that's something that could be a viable control option for these type of games for me. That would make me look forward to it, because good for skating games. Can't wrap my head around it in a combat game. So I'm really curious to see how it feels. But from what you're saying, it is at least interesting enough to check out. Right?
Yeah. I really think that people should really check out this demo, because just to like even just like see what this control scheme is like, because I don't I'm not like 100% sold on it yet, but like this game is built around it, so it feels like satisfying in here. But like I really want to give it more time.
Right. I think the game I was talking about was Jet Li's Rise to Honor.
Okay.
And yeah, this according to this is the game I was thinking about with the right stick controls.
Nice.
Not 68 on Metacritic. So
ooh. Damn. How'd Jet Li, man? I feel like I haven't looked into Jet Li in a while.
Matt, I'll randomly get Jet Li thumbnails with him recently talking to co-stars of yesteryear. Don't click them.
Oh.
But Matt, you said RPG when you were talking about Zhen. Matt, how do you feel about car PGs?
Oh, that sounds interesting. Wait,
Matt,
what is this car PG, Jaren?
Matt, I'm talking about Kaido Genkai, which off the bat, Matt, if I said something has Dreamcast energy,
it's this game. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't realize it had a demo. Oh man. Okay.
So Matt, this is currently being kickstarted. I think it reached its goal. I believe if we paid around $400, we can get an ad on a billboard in game.
Oh man, that's ooh.
So Matt, Kaido Genkai is a car PG. On the hood, so to speak, it's a standard anime story. Matt, you had a mentor who something tragic has happened to them, and people think you're at fault. But luckily, at least your childhood best friend thinks you're in the clear. This is an open world game where you go around, you race, you do jobs, like be a Dango delivery driver, meet people. But yeah, open world, drive around. I think the driving is pretty arcadey, but it feels nice enough for what it is. I think one of my issues right now with the game is that it's really hard to know where exactly to go for your next checkpoint sometimes.
I see.
For example, for the third Dango run, the finish line was on this house on top of a hill. But it was kind of difficult at a glance to know how to get up that hill, where the path is. I had to restart the race like 3 times. Once to figure out so there was a fork in the road, right? I reset once because I went left to try to explore to see if there was a route up the hill. Reset again, went right this time to see if there was a route. And then, of course, reset a 3rd time when I knew to do that perfect run. Where I think, just readability when it comes to checkpoints could be improved. But I think what is here does seem charming enough with art that reminds me of early fan anime on Newgrounds. Big, bold colors, menus that make me feel like I'm playing, Crazy Taxi or Jet Set Radio on the Dreamcast. I think it is coming along. Nice to see that they met their goal. Demo was scheduled for this month, I believe. Early access for July 2027 now, and then full release, I believe, late 2027. So Kickstarter still there. Not as someone who is a fan of dirt racing, rally racing. I think that is the $200,000 stretch goal, which I don't think they'll make, but who knows? Who knows? They just cleared the 50K. And I think the next one is 70K for like the farm or the rural area. But yeah, for what it is right now, it's charming enough. It is scratching those itches. And I think for what it is, Kaido Genkai is definitely something to check out. Demo available now to see if it's your thing. Arcadey enough. The physics are okay enough for what it is. But I like the vibes, Matt. The vibes are definitely there. Matt, you check out anything else?
I mean, here I do want to talk very, very briefly about Order of the Sinking Star. Because Jaren, this is a puzzle game. So Jaren, this was made by the dude who made Braid and The Witness. And Jaren,
this is the Jonathan Blow game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Jaren, it shows this game Jaren, this demo, I only played I want to say 20 minutes of this demo, and it hurt my brain already with the amount of thinking I had to do here. And I think I only touched the easy part of the game, because when you go into the demo, after you kind of do the tutorial stuff, it's like, hey, you can go north or east from here for an easy experience, or you can go west from here to have the more challenging experience. And initially I thought, oh, I should just go west. I'm a smart boy, I can do this.
Yep.
But let's see how
you're the gamer of the mistakes zone.
But I was like, oh, let's go see how the easy stuff here is first. And man, Jaren, these are just the easy part that I decided to do. There's a whole bunch of different mechanics in here, but the easy part that I decided to do is really just block pushing puzzles.
Of course.
But there's different, I guess, characters that you're using within the block pushing puzzle. At first you have your basic dude who's like, hey, I'm gonna push this thing forward. Push this block forward, and that's it. And then you have someone who pulls blocks no matter what. So as long as you're moving in a straight line with them, you're pulling the block. And then you have another dude who, when he sees a block, no matter how far away it is, as long as there's no, and this is very important, no fully opaque wall between them, it'll teleport. And it'll switch the places of them. And even just using these three mechanics, this game is creating puzzles that are already making my tummy hurt in terms of how to solve them. Because at first it's hey, of course, I'm using the push-in guy, that's fine. And then now I'm using the pull-in guy, that's fine. And now I'm using the teleporting guy, that's fine. And then at some point they're like, oh, you know what? Of course, they're trying to tell a story within this game, and these people meet up. And now you're doing puzzles where you have to use all their powers in conjunction. And Jared, in puzzle games like this, I feel usually they're okay, you're doing it on this half of the screen with one character, and then this half of the screen with the other character. But nah, these guys are put together immediately. And you're trying to figure out how to use them. And oh man, this is Jared, if this is the easy part of the game and it's already forcing me to use brain this much, I'm really excited and scared to see the rest of this game, especially with this demo. Jaren, I think one crazy part of this demo was that the way they're telling the story is that those three people are kind of doing their thing, right? And then there's another person existing in, I don't know if they're in a different timeline or whatever, or maybe they're in the same timeline, maybe they know them, but she is able to change clothes and get each of their powers. So I don't know.
That's giving me a tummy ache.
Jared, this game gives me a tummy ache when I think about trying to play this game, but I'm so excited to play the full version of this game. And I think it said Jaren, I'd love to see it. There were a couple demos that this showed up as well that I can't remember which ones they were, but it did say, hey, when you do this stuff in the demo, it carries over to the real game. And I love to see that.
Yep, love to see it.
But Order of the Sinking Star, if you liked Braid, if you liked Witness, you should probably check this out, because it's the same kind of thinking that you got to do.
Okay. Matt, I think back fondly of Braid. Didn't play The Witness, and stay off Jonathan Blow's social media. That's all.
Yeah. You got to separate art from the artist sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. Matt, I have two more games here, but I want to shout out one more game that I downloaded, didn't get to play yet. Matt, I downloaded the demo, didn't play this game called Wantami Life. And that this is a visual novel, choose your own adventure, starring VTuber Tamaki Inuyama. Hey, also features another favorite VTuber of mine, Kagura Mei.
Of course.
Hope this game is good.
Is this a visual novel, Jared?
Yes, it looks to be a visual novel. But Matt, I also played the demo for Hyper Bun Blaster Rocket Hammer Action. And Matt, this is a fun arcade arena game. You play as a bunny girl named Tess, who has a giant rocket hammer.
Sounds good.
The gameplay is you mainly move around the arena, dodging enemies when they attack you, and then you attack them by bumping into them. once they're out of that attack state. So
I see.
when you kind of attack them, they're put into the knock state. And then when you attack them again in the knock state, it sends this charge energy ball flying in that direction. And basically, you're scored on how fast you're able to clear an arena, but also how many enemies you can combo together with your attacks. I think the game has good enemy varieties for the demo so far, each with their own attack patterns and different effects, like AoE, throwables, sliding, things like that. And, there are four boss fights, each with their own gimmicks. Nice pixel graphics. I think Tess has a nice animation when you're just able to wail on a boss enemy, for example. And Matt, at first I played on normal, and it was definitely one of those games where it wants you to kind of get good because I was dying a lot, Matt. I bumped it down to easy just to kind of get a better understanding of the flow of the game. And I think with the way the enemies moved on, this grid arena, just because it has that isometrical overhead view. I was thinking it might be similar to something like Crypta the Necrodancer or Cadence of Hyrule, where enemy patterns were aligned with the music. So when it wasn't aligned with the music, I had to really sit down and kind of learn the flow of the game. I was ready to write this game off as not for me, but I think once you get used to the combat and how it moves, I think it's definitely an enjoyable time if you're into, the style of arcade game. So that was Hyper Button Blaster Rocket Hammer Action. Took a minute, but definitely something I'll be keeping an eye out. Maybe not at launch, but on the wish list, Matt. On the wish list. But Matt, any final games that caught your attention during the Next Fest?
I mean, Jaren, I think we should end this with another game that we both played, which I thought you were going to be talking about earlier, which is Blood Dungeon. Jaren, I feel like this is probably one of the more talked about games during this particular Next Fest. This is a Survivor Splunky, is how I see it described a lot, where you're basically kind of like doing your Survivor's thing, but you are platforming in a Spelunky style, I guess. A Spelunky style, where you're kind of like doing a lot of platforming. You're wandering this arena. Jaren, do you wander the arena a lot? I don't know if there's actually something in here because I was very much busy with just trying to stay alive. That I didn't scour every corner of this arena.
So when you say arena, you're talking about, I guess, the first, the catacombs.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the map. The map, sorry.
So, Matt, I feel like, for me personally, survivability just overall seems a bit rough in the beginning. I think my runs were pretty short, where I wasn't exploring a lot. I was just kind of going far enough until I could see like a health pickup. And then I'd kind of just hover around that area just so I can hopefully squeeze out a few more, a minute or two more. Hopefully get to the first boss encounter to get them to spawn and maybe beat them if I was able to, luck into a pretty good build. But if I had to be honest, this was such an addicting demo for me. One of those where even though you're unlocking a bunch of different things that say it's going to be in the final game, plus I didn't unlock any additional characters because I think there is a few characters you can play as here as well.
Oh, okay. I did not get that at all.
I think there's still enough for you to sink your teeth into and get like a really good taste for what the game is. Not the soundtrack for the catacombs themselves was a killer. Really enjoy it. But I think this immediately hooked me, where I just wanted to play more of it, Matt. I wanted to play more, but we're talking about these bullet heaven games, these survivor games, these roguelite games. But Matt, when it comes to these games and, what's your typical path per run and kind of meta progression wise, where do you focus on one weapon first, or do you focus on overall damage, XP gain, build up your arsenal? Typically when you're playing these type of games, what's your normal run looking like?
I will usually in this game try to build up my arsenal while also trying to like get one particular weapon just like higher, because I feel like that T-shaped investment is usually the way I like to go for this type of game. But like
Yeah.
Jared, I feel like this. Okay, the itemization in this game was very weird for me because you only get to me, or like from what I could really tell, you really only get one other hard weapon, and then the rest are kind of like powers, I guess, and that really threw me off because I guess I just like need to more learn this game's itemization because the itemization in this game isn't normal compared to other, what do you call it, like bullet heaven style games. So I think that really has to I really gotta like get that down to really more so sink my teeth into this.
No, I feel that.
I don't like the art in this game.
Yeah, the art, because this is from the Nidhogg developer, I believe. Where, I think if there's something, I think that will be what's divisive about the game. I think at its core, it took me a bit to get used to kind of the platforming itself and you being able to, like stick to walls or like hang off ceilings and stuff like that. The art is definitely the, I guess, point of contention where I got used to it. But I agree, Nidhogg isn't a game that I typically like, to be completely honest. But I don't know, there's just something about Blood Dungeon that was able to get its hooks in me, and I'm really looking forward to its hopefully release this year. But no, overall, Matt, I think it was another solid Steam Next Fest. They are blending together. I do like to see what's coming out and seeing what games to look forward to as well. But Matt, it's a Beefy Boy episode, but we can't end just yet. This week we gotta end off with a Don't Match Me challenge, where every week one of us will bring forth 5 questions, and all you have to do is come up with an answer that doesn't match our own. Of course, this is a audio podcast, an audio journal. So, if you come across a question you might not know the answer to, feel free to pause, look it up, and hopefully what you find doesn't match ours. If you want to play on normal, just simply try not to match me. If you want to play on kind of hard, try not to match Matt as well. But Matt, if you want to play on very hard, try not to look it up. But, if you want to look it up, feel free. Feel free. But Matt... at the time of recording, it is Father's Day. Yes. So, of course, Matt, we have to hit them with the Don't Match Me Father's Day challenge. So, Matt, let's start it off right off the bat. Matt and friends, name any video game with a playable father and a playable child. So name any video game where both the father or father figure and the child is playable.
Oh, okay. Oh, I hope this one's right, because I want to play very hard, and I don't want to look it up.
Okay. We'll see, Matt. We'll see. So Matt, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Matt, if you said Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 featuring Tony Hawk and his son Riley Hawk, you're out.
Okay.
Matt, who do you got?
Okay, Jaren, I can't remember if this is right or not, but this is maybe spoilers for this game. In Tales of Symphonia, Kratos was Lloyd's dad, right? Or am I just wrong?
You're... Okay, let's look this up.
Okay, down. Okay.
Is it not? Okay. I don't know. Okay, yes. Okay.
Okay. Nice. Okay, cool. I'm glad that I remembered this tidbit of information.
Okay. So Matt. You did not match me, and good pull.
Oh, man.
Hopefully our friends had good pulls as well. But Matt, moving on to question 2. Kind of on the same vein, Matt. Just name any fictional video game dad that is playable. Name any fictional video game dad that is playable. So no Tony Hawk, no LeBron James, none of the athletes, but just name a fictional playable video game dad. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Matt, if you said Octodad, you're out. Matt, who do you got?
Jaren, I just went with the other Kratos from God of War.
Good pull. Good pull. Good pull. Hopefully our very hard friends, that came out wrong, but hopefully the friends playing on very hard are still in it. But that question 3. Question 3. Matt, name any fictional dad with 3 kids. Name any fictional dad with 3 kids.
Oh man. Okay. Oh, I got one.
Okay. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt, if you said Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers, you're out.
Oh man. Jaren.
Yep.
I'm safe because
Okay.
I went with another popular cartoon dad of Homer Simpson.
Ooh. Okay, Matt. Matt. Keep that in mind because question 4, Matt.
Okay.
Name any fictional dad whose name starts with H.
Oh man. Is there other fictional dads?
Yep.
H? Oh no. Okay. I got it.
Okay, so name any fictional dad whose name starts with the letter H. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Friends, if you said Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, you're out.
Oh man. Jaren.
What's up?
I was too trapped in the cartoon realm. And I didn't even consider real people fictional dads.
It still counts, Matt. Still counts.
Because Jaren, I went with Hank Hill.
Oh, good, Matt. Almost picked Hank Hill, but with the cartoon aspect, I tried to steer clear. But Matt, so I believe this is our final question, and hopefully, Matt, I can tell you're on the seat of the pants playing on very hard. Matt, question 5. Your dad's going out to buy some milk. What milk's he buying?
We're talking like brands here, or we're talking about like percentages?
Types of milk.
Oh, okay.
So name any type of milk your dad would be going to buy.
Okay.
So name any type of milk your dad could buy. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt, hopefully my dad comes back with some condensed milk. If you said condensed milk, you're out.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Matt, what milk's your dad buying?
Jaren, I went a bit too. I played too into Vox here. I went with lactose-free 2%.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Matt, if any of our friends had 2% milk only, I think they're fine.
I feel like lactose-free. Lactose-free is, I think, where I'll ding them.
Yes. So Matt, that is the Don't Match Me Father's Day challenge for this week. Congratulations to all our friends out there if they survived. And if not, hey, we're just here for vibes. Just here for vibes. Matt, checking in real quick. Looking at our Real Mistake Zone Fantasy Critic League, Rikush had some heavy hitters this week. With him adding... the only updates this week is 1, Matt... Rikush saw that Stranger of Heaven wasn't released for 2026, and no one counterpicked him, so he dropped that. We got to drop.
I was trying to drop, what do you call it, Monster Hunter, but it kept getting I put conditionals on it, so I kept getting not being able to drop it.
Oh no, man! So it goes sometimes. But Rikush added One Piece Grand Gourmet, Pokemon Pocopia Bubbly Bassin, and Final Fantasy Resonance, who I spoke with Mark, and he underbid on that. But Matt, the winner this week is Mark with Dave the Diver in the Jungle, the expansion currently having a 92 on Open Critic.
Oh, damn.
Matt, I'm kicking myself for not picking that one up.
Oh, man. Did you not have it last year?
I did not have Dave. Maybe I did, but that Dave the Diver is a game that I adored but couldn't finish because outside that restaurant loop, I got kind of annoyed, but glad to see Dave still has it in him. But Matt, this has been a Beefy Boy episode of The Mistake Zone. Thank you again for joining me this week, editing this podcast, and of course, Matt, playing some Steam Next Fest demos. Thanks, man.
Yo, thanks, Jaren. Of course, as always, I want to thank you for hosting this episode and, kicking it by playing some demos that we could talk about on this Steam Next Fest.
Of course. And Matt, can't wait to do it again next quarter. Shout out to all the dads out there. You know what, Matt? Shout out to all the moms as well. Shout out to my lucky YSG pull. Matt, I'm scared for Remy. I'm so scared right now. I did that as a goof, thinking nothing would happen, and then something happened, and now my tummy hurts.
Oh, man.
Matt, shout out to Legally Distinct Beyblades. Shout out to Fish. Shout out to... I guess gacha games that aren't actually gacha games, and then shout out to the cool S. Matt, please take it away.
This has been the Mistake Zone, and we're all out of pulls for Yashin Guang.
Feels bad, Matt. Feels real bad.
Maybe.
Maybe.